Hello, Amusement Park Portal. I'm making this special video here with all the exciting things going on in the amusement industry between Cedar Fair and Six Flags as of late. I thought it was necessary to make this video to kind of go over, well, what's going to happen next with this merger. It's exciting. I'm excited about it to see what it brings. I know there are some concerns out there from some people, and I do believe a lot of people are overreacting about this merger. Including the hardcore Cedar Fair folks out there. But we're going to go over what just happened and, well, what's next? What's going to happen next? So, as you all know, the merger was completed on July 1st, 2024, this year. And it went onto the stock exchange under the word fun on the following day, the 2nd. So I did want to wait a couple days before making a video to gather a little bit more information, so I wasn't just throwing things out there. But this is the official press release from the new Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, under the New York Stock Exchange ticker of FUN, the largest and most diverse amusement park operator in North America today, announced the successful completion of the merger of equals between Cedar Fair and Six Flags. Effective July 1st, 2024, the combined company is operating under the name Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. Cedar Fair units and shares of former Six Flags common stock ceased trading at the close of the New York Stock Exchange on July 1st, and beginning on the 2nd, those shares of Six Flags Entertainment Corporation's common stock will trade on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol FUN, which is Cedar Fair's ticker. Under the terms of the merger agreement, Cedar Fair unit holders receive 1 share of common stock in Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, each unit owed, and former Six Flags shareholders receive 0.5800 shares of common stock in Six Flags Entertainment Corporation for each share owned. Going on, says, today marks a significant milestone for our company, shareholders, guests, and associates, unlocking higher value and greater opportunities to deliver engaging entertainment experiences, per Richard Zimmerman, President and Chief Executive Officer of Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. Our merger establishes a new Six Flags Entertainment Corporation with a highly diversified footprint and robust operating model, enhancing park offerings and performance through the complementary portfolio of attractive assets and intellectual property from each Cedar Fair and the former Six Flags. The combination also enhances the financial profile of the company with strong cash flow generation to accommodate investments in our parks, delight our guests, blah, blah, blah. All that. And it goes on to say, we believe that by combining the best ideas and most successful entertainment practices of both Six Flags and Cedar Fair, the new Six Flags can deliver a superior level of joy and excitement that has yet to be experienced by regional park guests. Added Salim Basul, Executive Chairman of the Board of Directors of Six Flags Entertainment Corp. We are excited to unite the Cedar Fair and Six Flags teams to capitalize on the tremendous growth opportunities and operational efficiencies of our more extensive entertainment portfolio. It ends in saying each park in the combined company's portfolio will retain their legacy branding with no changes to park names currently keyword, being planned or contemplated. So there you have it. That was the press release that came out a couple days ago announcing the merger. And wow, I know it sounds like Greek to a lot of people here, but including myself, I'm not going to pretend I know a lot of the financial mumbo jumbo because I don't know a lot of that stuff. So, but exciting news nonetheless. So, what does that mean exactly? What's going to happen to these parks? Well, according to this, the names are going to stay the same. Nothing's going to change there for the time being. But I thought it would be interesting to kind of visit what could happen. And if you have questions, we're going to cover a lot that's covered in this, but just happened a few moments ago. Both Cedar Fair and Six Flags on their park websites, on some of them, not all of them, put up at the very top. You can see here, I'll show them on the screen. You can click those links up there on the pages, and it'll go over a lot of these questions that we're going to be going over now. But we're going to cover those, and we're going to go over what could happen here coming up soon. So let's get going. First off, let's start with your passes, your season passes. As of now, there's no changes to the passes. That's the biggest question I see all over social media being asked. Your current pass to either a Cedar Fair park or a Six Flags park, it's staying as is. No changes. I'm sure coming up here soon, they're going to have a combination pass. I imagine next year at the earliest, not this year. A combination pass which will allow you in all the parks, both the Six Flags and Cedar Fair parks, which I know a lot of enthusiasts out there are drooling over that. Now, a lot of complaints and worries that I've heard was, oh, the price is going to skyrocket. But you know what? I don't think so. I don't think the price is going to really skyrocket. If you look at the current passes that Cedar Fair has out now, they have the Gold Pass with the All Parks add-on. I believe it's $125. Correct me if I'm wrong, to add that onto it. I don't see that going up much. I see maybe another $20 or so, 30 tops. If you think about it, the majority of people that have season passes aren't coaster enthusiasts that travel the country and go to 30, 40 parks every year. Most of them are people that live in a region where you might have 1, 2, 3, or 4 of those parks within a day's drive for them. So yeah, it's a bit of a perk for them to have those extra parks on there, but it's not really worth another $200-$300 like some people are freaking out over. And I honestly don't think it's going to go up that much. Like I said, I'm going to stick to the $20-$30 more for the all park add-on, what we're currently looking at. Now, the one thing, however, that does worry me are those of you Six Flags pass holders that have the legacy passes. That's up in the air. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything contractual with that where as long as you're paying on it, you get to keep it. Being that there's a merger, I'm not going to pretend I know any of that stuff. So hopefully you're able to keep them because I do know that a lot of people have like the all-day dining, the 2 meals and the snack grandfathered in on their passes, which they no longer offer for all seasons. So that's still up in the air. But again, I know this is so fresh. There's really not a lot of information out there yet. I know in due time, I'm thinking when passes start going on sale for next year, we might see some things trickle out. Or you might not hear nothing at all until this winter. All right, the next concern I keep hearing here, is cookie cutter rides. You know, Six Flags, as of late, has been adding a lot of cookie cutter rides to some of their parks, or in the past, you know, with the SLC coasters, boomerangs, and whatnot, the Joker coaster, you know, the 4D flip coasters there. You know what, though? Now, with the combined company, you're going to have what is that, like 28 parks combined or something like that? I'd have to look at the exact number, but you're going to have quite a few parks. So you're bound to get some cookie cutter rides mixed in there. I mean, they only make so many different types of rides. And if it's a good ride, why not put it at another park? I don't see an issue with it, and I travel to all these parks. One of the problems, and I have it to myself for a while, with the enthusiast mindset is 2 parks have a lot of the similar rides. Well, that park's not that good because it has rides that all these other parks have. But you got to keep in mind that the general public, the people that visit the park most often, don't go around the country to several different, 20, 30 different theme parks every summer. They're probably hitting just the theme parks in their area, and then occasionally they might go visit a theme park out of town. But I don't think you have to worry about cookie cutter rides. If anything, I could see some of the rides that are cloned be like flat rides. Maybe a couple of the smaller coasters, like that 4D coaster, like the Joker coaster. I could see something like that eventually ending up at like parks like Michigan Adventures, or Six Flags America, like the smaller parks could get some of those cloned coasters. So another concern I hear is name changes of the rides. I wouldn't be too worried about that right now, especially with existing rides. I could see maybe some of the kids areas, maybe changing some of the names of the rides. We'll get into the IPs here in just a bit, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Maybe some of the new rides that come out, you might see a Superman or a Batman coaster pop up in the future at a Cedar Fair park, but I wouldn't count on anything too soon with that. Now, ride removals and relocations. Here's the thing. This is now that they got all these parks under their belt, under one company, if a coaster or a ride is no longer popular at one of their parks, well, since they have so many parks in the chain now, they could take that ride and move it to another park and market it as a new ride. They could do that. They could remove rides also, like rides that just aren't popular or rides that are money pits that just cost a lot of money to operate. I could see them possibly removing those. That's always a possibility. But yeah, I mean, you got so many toys in the toy box now, you could spread that out throughout the chain. So what do you guys think of this new logo? We'll look at this logo right here. I like it and I hate it. I'm on the fence about it right now. I think just because it's so new, I'm just not used to it yet. Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. Now, I see they went with the Cedar Fair font and style and just put Six Flags up there. But shouldn't there be Six Flags on there too? I mean, I'm not complaining about this new logo. I think it's okay so far. I'm sure it'll grow on me. But I would like to see maybe some more flags on there, possibly. Six Flags. You only got one on there. Yeah, just kind of weird to me. But overall, like I said, the name changes. There's not going to be name changes of the parks as of now. They're all going to be the same. But you'll see like Cedar Point, and then underneath you'll see a Six Flags park or the Six Flags logo, the new logo under it. Real small. And yeah, so that's good. I know a lot of people were worried about the logos and names changing. Now let's get into the IPs. Of course, Cedar Fair has the Snoopy IPs, and Six Flags has the DC and Looney Tunes, and I think they even have some of the Hanna-Barbera, which would be interesting because Kings Island and Dominion used to have and I think Carowinds too, had the Hanna-Barbera characters incorporated in the park at one time. But now that's all getting thrown into the same bowl. It'd be interesting to see what ends up with these IPs. I know the Snoopy IP, from what I hear, expires, I think, the end of this year. Who knows if they renew it? And I know there's some years left on the DC and Looney Tunes IPs. But a good idea would be, like at Cedar Point, for example, if you want to incorporate the Looney Tunes into there, you've got two Snoopy Kids Lands. You got Camp Snoopy and Planet Snoopy. How about changing like Planet Snoopy into Looney Tunes Land or something like that? Retheme those rides to Looney Tunes, so you have one specific area for Looney Tunes and one specific area for Peanuts, assuming that the parks keep both those IPs. I could see some of the Peanuts stuff moving into some of the Six Flags parks, specifically like Frontier City or Darien Lake, where they really don't have the DC characters or the Looney Tunes incorporated into those parks because those weren't full-fledged Six Flags parks. So it'll be interesting to see what route they go with that. I'm sure we'll find out more, in the next year once that Peanuts license expires. So another question being asked is Fastlane versus Flash Pass. I don't know. I'm kind of a opponent of having to be on your cell phone all day, which the Flash Pass at Six Flags is based on that. And I know Cedar Fair, the Fastlane has the wristbands, which they've installed recently, those new scanners at the entrance of the Fast Lanes in the parks. But I do like how Six Flags handles the whole situation better. It only allows a set number of riders per hour to reserve a spot in line on that ride, as to where Cedar Fair's system, you can get back in line over and over and over again as many times as you want, and that causes the line to back up, especially on a busy day when you got 5,000 people in the park with fast lane. They want to all ride Steel Vengeance. Well, guess what? Those 5,000 people, exaggerating, I know, high number, are getting in front of those 10,000 people or however many are in the line, and it's really bogging that line down. Those people got to wait a lot longer to ride that ride due to that. So I kind of like how Six Flags limits the amount of people per time frame for the rides. So I'd like to see them maybe combine the two and go from there. Maybe have the flash lane, but or the fast lane rather, bands, but I don't know how they would work that as far as reserving a specific time and that. But I kind of hope these parks get away from being on the phone so much. I don't like going on my phone, having to reserve things and all that. That's one of the really big downsides of Disney right now. We don't like going. It's just too much planning, too much face on the phone. Don't like it. So we'll see what happens with that. Future of new rides. This kind of goes back to the cookie cutter rides. We touched on it a little bit, but I'm excited about this. I could see some of the parks, like Six Flags Great Adventure, finally getting that Giga Coaster, or parks like Michigan Adventure finally getting anything like a new coaster of some type. I could see that happening. I don't think they're going to slow down. A lot of the coasters that come out in the next year or two are already prepaid for, pre-planned, so those aren't getting canceled because they're under contract to get built. But what will be interesting is 2 years from now, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I hope those parks that need a new coaster get a new coaster. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Another thing, parks that could close. They did come out and say they have no plans currently to close any parks, but as with any business, if you got a low performing, say you own a chain of stores or fast food places, you have a low performing store out there, well, they're going to look at it and they may just close it down. That could happen. I'm not privy to looking at their books and their numbers and their finances, so I don't know. For all I know, Six Flags America, Frontier City, Darien Lake, parks like that could be cash cows. They could be making them money and they don't have to invest in them, or they could be losing money on them. I don't know. But I could see down the road they open the books. Maybe those lower performing parks are either sold off, liquidated, meaning they just close them and spread the wealth throughout the chain. All the rides and attractions that were in that park sent to other parks. So last on my list here is improvements on each side. What could make each park chain better? Oh gosh, a bunch of things. One, the Six Flags parks, landscaping, just overall cleanliness. Maybe get rid of some of the blacktop. I'm not a fan of the blacktop. I know both park chains, some of the parks have blacktop, but I like to see those interlocking bricks, or just bricks in general. Something other than blacktop. Even concrete works for me. But if you know what I'm talking about. If you ever walked around the park on a 90-degree day, there's not a lot of trees. You're standing in lines. That sun is beating down on that blacktop, just blasting you like a furnace. It's not fun. And so that's one change. Landscaping. Now Six Flags, I got to give it to them. Over the last few years, has been improving in those departments. They've been painting, landscaping, cleaning up the parks a lot better. But I think that'll get elevated even more with Cedar Fair. Now on the Cedar Fair side, I could see the operational part of it getting improved. You may be like, what? Cedar Park has great operations. Yeah, they do, but they don't. I've been to some Six Flags parks where they're like running back and forth to send those trains, and just some of the overall testing and safety requirements that are involved at Six Flags make more sense, than what Cedar Fair has. I mean, Cedar Fair, they have seatbelts on everything. You've probably noticed rides that it's just like, why is there a seatbelt on this? If somebody's gonna, I mean, just like on the antique car rides, for example, why do you need seatbelts on this stuff? I think one of the carousels at a Cedar Fair park I went to had seatbelts on it. It was just, which would have made no sense because you could still slide off the horse, then you'd be dangled in the seatbelt. But I mean, even the Tilt-A-Whirl at Cedar Point has a seatbelt on the thing. It just, yeah, some of the stuff is just kind of silly. But Six Flags doesn't have any more accidents than what Cedar Fair has. They're not unsafe or anything like that. So I could see some of those changes. Another improvement for the Six Flags side I could see is food. The food could definitely get improved. Now, some of the Six Flags parks I've been to have some delicious foods. They have some really, really good foods, but some of them don't. We were at one a couple weeks ago, and the main thing was chicken fingers, burgers, and pizza. That was it. And they had a couple little things here and there, but nothing. It was like, that was your choices, your main choices. And not a fan of that. I mean, it's, you go, especially if you go to parks quite often, you're so sick of chicken tenders and burgers and that, I like to try different things. Like, I know, like Six Flags Great Adventure, that Mama Flora's, they have like gyros in there, I think meatball sandwiches, things like that. I like a variety of things. They have fried chicken, at that park. I don't like to see a lot of the same things. And I could also see all the chain food restaurants getting the boot. I can almost guarantee Chicky and Pete's at Cedar Point is on its way out. Like the Subways. There's still a couple Subways around. We were at Canada's Wonderland this last weekend. If you haven't checked out our video yet on YouTube, we covered that. Make sure you watch that. But they still have a Subway, and that one was still on the dining plan, which kind of surprised me. But yeah, I could see a big change there. Yeah, but beyond that, I mean, I don't see a whole lot changing. You're going to notice probably over the next year or two, all the employee uniforms aren't going to have that Cedar Fair logo on them, or they'll have the Six Flags Entertainment Corp logo on there too. Another thing with Six Flags I'd like to see changed with their dining, and that is the drink program. Please, for the love of God, can we have the option to get rid of those cups, those souvenir cups you have to carry around with you all day? The paper cup option works so much better. You're not having to carry around a cup all day with pop splashing all over the place. Your hands are all sticky. You have to worry what you're going to do with it when you ride a ride. They get stolen. It's something you got to carry around with you all day. You forget it, lose it. It's just a pain in the butt. The paper cup program works so much better. But, they could still keep the souvenir cups for people that want that too. But just to have the option of the paper cup would be an awesome win. So yeah, that's about all I got. I just wanted to make a video kind of going over those things. And, exciting things are on the horizon. I think that this is a positive thing for both park chains. The headquarters is being moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, not far from Carowinds there. So the Six Flags headquarters that was in, is it Arlington? Excuse me, where Six Flags over Texas is. I know they have an interesting headquarters there. It's in the old ballpark that the Texas Rangers used to play in. But so they'll be moving that operation over to Charlotte, combine that as one. Another thing too, I did kind of want to touch on real quick here, is how the park's going to save money by combining. Well, one of the things, now there's only one CEO. Both parks together, you had two CEOs. So you're combining this into one company, you have one CEO. So you're saving millions of dollars alone right there. Plus your buying power. We'll go back to those chicken tenders. So instead of, buying 10,000 cases of chicken tenders for your parks at $50 a case. Well, now you're buying 20,000 cases of chicken tenders at $35 a piece. So you're saving money because you're buying higher quantity bulk, there too. So I mean, there's all kinds of things. Your financials, you're having one office instead of two. You're going to be saving money there. So there's all kinds of aspects of it behind the scenes that people just don't realize. They only really look what's on the surface. And I do get a kick out of just some people online right now. They're acting like their dog died. It's just, yeah, it's funny. I get some people are concerned, but at the end of the day, these are amusement parks with roller coasters. It's not like, like I said, your dog died or anything like that. They're still going to be there. You're still going to have a great time. I think people are overreacting to this, thinking, oh, look what happened to Geauga Lake. They're going to, it's like, no, that's not what's going to happen. Geauga Lake was like the perfect storm at the right time. So I don't see that happening. But anyway, babbling now. Thanks for watching. That's all I got for you. If you have any questions or opinions about what I talked about here, put it down in the comments down below. I'd like to hear from you what your thoughts on this are, and if you agree or disagree with what I got to say. So that's it. Thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and share our content too. It doesn't cost you anything to do any of that, and it helps us out, tremendously. We're seeing a lot of growth here lately, and I'd like to continue that growth. So, so thanks for watching. We'll see you guys out on the midways.